So, hi everyone. After chain of thoughts and chain of drafts, there is a new prompting framework that has came in, that is atom of thoughts. So basically in atom of thoughts, we are trying to break the prompt into smaller independent sub questions, or called as atoms, that can be solved independently. So it is like solving one piece at a time of a puzzle rather than jumping onto everything altogether. So this can be very helpful when you're solving a complex problem and when you're going for a subjective answer to a very general question. So like for example, as you can see, planning a party with AOT. So first of all, what will AOT do? Imagine you're organizing a party. Instead of handling everything at once, you break it into simple questions. How many guests are coming? What's the party theme? What food should I buy? How should I decorate? What music should I play? Now, these questions are atomic questions. Some are independent while others are dependent on previous answer. Like, what's the party theme? This is independent of any of these. Now when you talk about how should I decorate, depending upon the party theme you would be decorating, right? So this is a dependent question. Solving the independent questions first. You decided 20 guests are coming, you chose a tropical beach theme, so number of guests and the party theme are independent. Combining answers to simplify the problem. Buy food for 20 people for a tropical beach party. Now asking the question like what should I buy, now you have a more detailed question, that is I need to buy food for 20 people and tropical beach party. Are you able to make sense? This question is more elaborated and has more information now. So what we did, we first solved the independent questions which were not dependent on anything else. We combined the answer and then we updated the previous questions also. What should I buy? Instead of that, what should I buy for 20 people for a tropical beach party? Now you can be very, very specific in this case. Repeat until everything is solved. So like this, you would be able to solve out questions, and unless the last question is solved, you get your final answer. This is how atom of thoughts work. How AOT works? Decomposition, breaking the problem down. It divides a big problem into smaller sub questions using a directed acyclic graph. Independent questions can be answered alone. Dependent sub questions require other answers first, as we saw in the previous example. Big question. How far it is from New York to Los Angeles? Where is New York? Where is Los Angeles? What is the distance between them? So AOT broke this particular prompt into three sub questions, out of which two are independent and one is dependent. Contraction, merging questions for simplicity. Once independent question sub questions are solved, AOT combines them to a simple problem. Given the location of New York and Los Angeles, what is the distance between them? Can you make sense now how the question has been updated and how it will benefit you? Because now the LLM knows I need to first define the location, right? Iterating, refining the process. AOT keeps breaking down the problem until they get to a simple enough solve answer directly. What are the coordinates of New York? What are the coordinates of Los Angeles? Calculate the distance between these coordinates. So instead of calculating the distance between New York and Los Angeles, now the question has been updated to calculate distance between the coordinates of New York and Los Angeles. Try to understand this. So it is more of a recursive problem that you're trying to solve using AOT. What are key characteristics? Markov property, efficient state transition, memorylessness, iterative decomposition. I think we just saw that. DAG based structure, directed acyclic graphs are used. Plugin capabilities, works with existing methods as well. Now, what are the benefits of atom of thoughts? It eliminates the need to store historical information, reducing memory and processing requirements because you're updating the questions depending on the previous answers. Breaks down complex reasoning tasks into atomic questions, making multi-hop reasoning more manageable. Flexible, can be used as a standalone framework or as a plug and play. And scalable, the iterative decomposition process scales efficiently with increasingly large problem complexities as well. But there are some limitations also dependent on initial decomposition. If the first set of questions that the model, that the framework has generated, is wrong, everything would go wrong. Lack of reflection, no built-in way to detect and correct faulty decompositions. Complexity in implementation, it is a little complex to implement. And risk of oversimplification, iterative decomposition may strip away crucial context or reducing accuracy. So it might be the case that if it goes into a never ending loop of recursion, it reaches out to a very, very basic question in the end. So looks like it might be oversimplified also. Now AOT versus chain of thought, which is better? Let's take the same example that we did, planning a trip. In case of chain of thought, The prompt would look something like this. You plan the trip step by step, where each step depends on the previous one. You must remember all details at each step. In atom of thoughts, you break the trip into independent tasks. See, this is the whole thing. In chain of thought, it's more of a sequential thing. In atom of thoughts, not sequential. You're trying to figure out what question should I be answering, and then depending upon dependent and independent nature of the question, you are picking them one by one. COT is like following a recipe step by step, great for linear problems but inefficient for complex tasks. AOT is like preparing ingredients separately and then combining them to cook a dish. Try to understand the difference between the two. AOT is not sequential. It knows what ingredients are required and then it will be working on them independently. COT is straightforward, sequential reasoning, while AOT is multi step reasoning and a little complex. So I hope you like this particular tutorial on AOT, atom of thoughts. It is quite innovative also and looks quite interesting to implement as well. I'll be trying it out soon and you also try it out, because there is no direct prompt to this. It is more of a framework. You need to add into a number of questions to ChatGPT. Like first break down the problem into multiple decomposed simple questions, then identify as independent, non independent. So if you don't have the framework, you need to do it manually. So I skipped that part in this video, but I think AOT sounds great, very interesting, and try it out on Chat GPT. Let's see what you get. Thank you.